Okay, sir, first of all, your name?
I'm Charlie Riley. I'm the county commissioner here in Montgomery County, Precinct 2.
Okay, now since April, we've had quite a bit of flooding out here, and this road is one of the prime ones right here.
This is one of the prime roads that we know when we have a rain event like we've had that it's going to go underwater, and we try to prepare for that best we can. And over the last years, we've been trying to come up with a way that we could put barricades up that would stay there to warn the people that there's high water, you don't need to try to go through. And just sitting around in our shop trying to figure out how we could make that happen, we came up with this design. A bunch of guys in my shop are pretty smart guys, and they all put together, got their heads together, and we came up with this design to barricade one side of the road. We want to make sure that the emergency vehicles can get around if they need to, but this way, this barricade is here permanently. It's in the locked up position until it's needed. Then it can be locked down, closing off this one lane of traffic and letting everybody know that there's danger ahead.
Let me ask you, over the past many years, it's been a deputy working at night or something, heavy rains, pulls up, oh gosh, we got water, I need to basically run through his routine, what he's got to do and how long he's got to wait.
I certainly will. Now, he comes out here when he gets the call that there's high water, and he will drive up on the scene and he will make the determination whether or not there needs to be barricades. Now, he'll call our office, or he'll call me or one of our guys, and we'll have to call somebody out to bring barricades. That could take sometimes an hour and a half to 2 hours. And he has to wait here with his lights on, warning people that they cannot go through. This way, he's got a key to every one of these barricades we've got. He can pull up to this barricade. If he thinks it's impassable and unsafe, he can unlock the barricade, let it down, lock it in the down position, and then he can go back doing what he needs to do, which is answering calls to people that are really in need and not sitting here babysitting the high water.
Okay, now I know it's only on one side, not both sides. We have these clowns with the big four-wheel drive trucks, think they can get through anything, they're invincible, and end up in water rescues. What else are you going to add to this case?
Scott, I will tell you this, that we know that if we barricade the whole road off, and we've done it in the past, people are going to drive up here, they're going to move the barricades out of the way. Most of the time they throw them up against the fence or they throw them in the ditch. They drive down and look at the water, turn around and drive back and leave the barricades laying on the ditch or up against the fence, or sometimes they'll throw it in the creek and it floats away, or they'll throw them in the back of their truck, they steal them. And then we get another call from somebody else saying, hey, y'all need to come barricade Honey Egypt Road. Well, we know we've already been there, so we know the barricades are either laying on the side, stolen, or they're in the ditch, or they floated away.
Honey Egypt here, Lake Creek comes up, tears it up pretty good. How deep is the water this time around?
I hear that at Lake Creek down here at the bridge between here and the other entrance to Montgomery Trace, it got to be 11 feet high over this road. And I don't doubt it. I've never seen water in places that I've seen at this time.
All right. Now, what about them going around this and the law? I mean, they think they can get around and get away with it. What happens if they get caught with it, going around it?
I'm certainly not a law expert, but I've always been told that it is a punishable offense to drive around a barricade, either a citation or even go to jail, a jail offense. So, and I certainly don't want to see everybody get a ticket. I certainly don't want to see everybody go to jail, but I do know that we spend a lot of our time during these emergency situations rescuing people, putting barricades back up, trying to find people, or getting resources here that we can rescue people with. And that takes up a lot of valuable time where we could all be doing other things.
And all that because they ignored the barricade, or someone else moved the barricade.
Or they moved the barricades, or the barricades are gone. So hopefully this is not going to stop that, Scott. I know that, and we all know that. But I hope and pray that this will deter a lot of that to where we can go about our business and take care of a road that's washed in half, or a culvert that's gone, or a tree that's across the road. That's where we need to be spending our time, not out here trying to barricade this road 3 or 4 times a night.
How many do you have set up so far?
I think we got 17 in set up so far.
And what do you plan on now?
We probably end up with about 24 is what we're thinking right now. And we know the locations that are prone to flood. We know when we see the kind of rain we saw, we knew that we were going to go to these same locations. But this time it was a little different. There was water in places I've never seen before.
What about cost?
We've got probably, now I will tell you this, we've got somewhere around $500 in each one of these permanent barricades. Now, We've got some scrap metal that we used on these. We've got some signposts that we used on these. We've got a permanent roll-up sign that will be installed on this one. This doesn't have it yet, but when you let the arm down, there you can unstrap a sign with Velcro, and it'll flop down, and it'll say "Road closed, high water," and that's as much warning as we can do at that time to let everybody know they don't need to go around this barricade and go any further.
Okay, now you're looking at $500 to put one of those up. Next question, what does it cost in man hours? Have to call a man out on overtime, come out here, set a barricade up, have a deputy's fuel and everything else?
I don't know whether you can put a price on that, Scott. I know that our guys come out at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It's a minimum of 4 hours to take care of that, and it's comp time. These guys do not get paid overtime. They get paid comp time. They do not complain about that. They have been busting it around the clock since the Thursday before the Memorial Day. We've got a lot of roads that we still trying to put back together. But I do know that a deputy sitting out here in his patrol car running for an hour and a half or 2 hours with his lights going, watching this water, could be doing a whole lot more important things besides sitting right here. And I think in about 5 minutes he could come up here, assess the situation. If it needs to be lowered, he can drop the barricade down, lock it back, and he can be gone in about 5 minutes.
Now, what has to be done to prod the state to do this? I mean, you've got a lot of state highways running through that you're not responsible for, and you really can't barricade them yourself.
I cannot barricade them, but hopefully if this pilot program works out like we think it will, and we see some success in turnaround time and response time for some of these deputies that are out here, hopefully everybody will take a good hard look. If they don't want to do it the way we've done, I don't care. We just need to figure out a way to make it where we're not wasting too much time taking care of high water. We need to be taking care of the high water and the roads and the situations after the high water is gone, and the rescues, whatever we need to do. We don't need to be sitting here babysitting high water.
All right. Now tell me, you've recycled a lot of this stuff to build these sites.
Yes,
Give me a little rundown of what you've got so far.
Okay. This I-beam or C-channel here is part of material we had left over from building our county barn and building our horse arena. When we put the cover over our horse arenas, we had some of this scrap laying around, so we used it. This is a trailer wheel hub that we did have to buy that because we wanted something new that we could keep greased and make sure it worked up and down. These are parts of signposts that we take and use, that if we have a sign that's bent or tore up, we can cut these to the length that we need. This sign is either an old speed limit sign or some old sign that we've had that we've recycled. We refaced it and put the new decals on that. So you got new rivets, and you got new nuts and bolts, and you got a new hub and a new pole and a breakaway pole, but the rest of this is pretty well recyclable stuff.
I get it. It's green.